If you're a seasoned project manager, you know the drill. You've absolutely mastered getting things done on time and on budget. But what if I told you the very definition of success is shifting right under our feet? Well, it is, and your role is changing right along with it. So over the next few minutes, we're going to dive into this evolution, what we're calling PM 5.0, and really unpack what it means for you and your career.
This quote, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That classic triple constraint: scope, schedule, budget. It's not the whole story anymore, not by a long shot. Think of it this way. It's become the bare minimum, the starting point, not the finish line. Why? Because the entire landscape our projects live in has completely changed.
So that's the big question, right? If the old rules are just table stakes now, what are the new goalposts? What are our projects really being judged on? And maybe even more important for us, what new responsibilities are landing squarely on our shoulders? Okay, here's the answer, straight up. Project success has changed. It's no longer just about coordinating tasks. It's about integrating decisions. See, your role is evolving. It's less about just delivering the thing, the output, and way more about the long-term impact of that thing, the outcome. We're moving from being master coordinators to being critical decision integrators. And these are decisions that echo long after we've all gone home. Wow, look at this. It really lays it all out, doesn't it? Yesterday, in what we're calling the delivery era, things were pretty straightforward. Success was simple: on time, on budget. Done. But today, in this PM 5.0 era, it's a whole new ballgame. We're talking about being judged on things like climate impact, AI ethics, regulatory exposure. I mean, these are massive topics. Your job doesn't just end when you hand over the keys anymore. It's just beginning. So let's talk about these new risks you own, and I mean own. Things like climate, AI, and regulation, they aren't just some external factors you put on a risk register anymore. Nope. They are now core responsibilities, baked right into the project itself. These are risks that start inside your project, and they have to be managed from inside your project. I mean, just think about this for a second. Your company makes a big promise about sustainability, right? Well, where does that actually happen? It happens in your project, with the vendors you choose. And those carbon claims they're making to the public, the assumptions behind those numbers, were defined by your team. That shiny new AI system you're about to launch, its risks, its potential biases, they're going to live on for years. The biggest, most impactful decisions are being made way upstream, right in the middle of your project plan. Okay, let's make this super real. Picture this. Your project delivers a brand new AI recruitment tool for university. It works like a charm, hits every single technical spec. You celebrate a successful launch. But then, it turns out the tool has a hidden bias, and it's screening out qualified candidates from certain backgrounds. So who's on the hook for that? Is it just the tech guys? Or is the project that brought this thing into the world also accountable? Or how about this one? Your project rolls out this amazing AI security system on campus. And hey, it works. Safety stats go up. But then students start raising alarms about their privacy. Who decided where that line was drawn? Who made the call on the trade-off between safety and privacy? Was that just a technical setting someone tweaked, or was it a major policy decision that should have been managed, documented, and debated right inside your project? And this one really speaks to the long-term risk. Your project helps your company make this big public claim about reducing its carbon footprint. Great. And it's totally accurate based on today's rules. But what happens in 3, 4, 5 years when the reporting standards get tougher? An auditor comes knocking and starts picking apart the assumptions your team made. Suddenly, the defensibility of that huge corporate claim rests on decisions made in your project years ago. That's a heavy thought. So, with all this new complexity, how on earth do you manage it? Well, it takes a whole new way of thinking. It's what we call the decision integrator mindset. Your job is to be the bridge, connecting the dots and closing those really dangerous gaps between your delivery team, all the different specialists, and the folks in corporate governance. And here's the problem we see in almost every organization. You've got all these different teams operating in their own worlds, their own silos. Your project team is heads down, focused on delivery. The sustainability team is over here, talking about environmental impact. The AI team is focused on performance. Legal is worried about risk. See, they're all running on parallel tracks. And where do those tracks need to connect? Right in the middle of your project. But without a shared framework to link them up, you get this massive gap. And that's exactly where risk loves to hide and grow. This is where PM 5.0 comes into play. And let's be super clear. This is not another heavy methodology meant to replace what you already do so well with things like the PMBOK guide. Not at all. The best way to think about it is as an integration layer.
It sits on top of your existing skills and connects your core project delivery work with all those specialist inputs: sustainability, AI, legal, making sure they all have a seat at the table when key decisions are made. And this really gets to the core of your evolving role as a decision integrator. You don't have to suddenly become a world-renowned expert on AI ethics or carbon accounting. Phew, right? That's not the point. Your superpower is making sure the real experts' inputs get heard, get debated, and get woven into decisions that are smart, well-documented, and, this is the key, totally defensible down the road. Now, let's talk about your framework for resilience. And I'm not just talking about resilience for your projects or your company. I'm talking about resilience for your career. This is all about giving you the tools to tackle risk way up at the source, upstream, long before it has a chance to blow up into a downstream mess, like an audit failure, a big fine, or a PR nightmare. The centerpiece of this whole framework is something called the PM 5.0 canvas. And what it does is force us to ask a really powerful, maybe even uncomfortable question. It's this: hey team, if we knock this project out of the park technically, will we still succeed ethically, legally, and reputationally? It's a simple but brilliant tool designed to take all those invisible, lurking risks and make them impossible to ignore. And just to really hammer this point home, let's look at how PM 5.0 fits with the skills you already have. It does not replace the PMBOK guide. You can see here they have different jobs. PMBOK is your go-to standard for delivery and performance excellence. PM 5.0 is the integration framework that wraps around it, focusing on the broader impact, the long-term accountability, and the governance of your project's decisions. They work together. They're complementary. So how do you actually have these new conversations? Well, there's a really practical tool called the P5 Impact Lens. It's basically a strategic checklist that helps you, the decision integrator, make sure all the bases are covered. You're simply asking, what's the impact on people, on the planet, on our long-term prosperity? Is our process for making this decision transparent and defensible? And what's the full life cycle impact of the product we're creating? It's a simple way to bring structure to complex issues. Look, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. The project managers who can do this, who can connect all the dots, who can explain complex trade-offs in simple terms, and who know when to raise the red flag, they're going to be absolutely indispensable. The PM 5.0 framework is what gets you there. It positions you as that critical integrator who squashes risk upstream, long before it has a chance to become a scandal. So it's time to move beyond just delivery. It's time to start governing outcomes. The age of delivery-only PMs is fading. The future belongs to the integrators, the outcome governors. And really, the question isn't whether you need to evolve anymore, it's whether your organization can survive if you don't.